Here I am beginning to kind of fill in some orange over the hand here, and I'm using Chroma Air, and it is a brighter color orange over the hand. I want to make the hand look like half of it is really charcoal broiled in the fire and the other half has not been burnt yet. So I know that I probably should have laid this in first, but I kind of changed my mind. So here I'm going to be coming back over it and trying to lay in some bright color first and then the really dark color. And then I'm going to have to lay some white over the arm there to fill in some fire over top of it to make it look like it's on top of the hand. Um, and I'm using about three different kinds of paint just because I'm getting the different colors that I want. I'll be using a neon chroma air, and it's used with a different reducer than the Wicked and the illustration. So, and you can mix the paints. So I know a lot of people tell you not to do that, but since it's acrylic, if you lay it on there right, it's not going to bother it when you clear coat it, just as long as you're careful and you're not like splatting it on there heavy or anything. But if you do it lightly all the time, it's all acrylic. It's going to mix. The chrome air is like a urethane, but it's still a water base, so as long as you're careful with it, it'll be fine. Here you're seeing I am coming in with some darker color. This is a sepia, and I just kind of really laid it on heavy there at first. And it's a process before I get it looking right, so it's going to look bad before it gets any better. So bear with me here. It's kind of back and forth, just like you do with the fire, until it gets to look like where you want it to look. Um, I'm scratching out some little highlights here and there with a fiber pencil. I forget what it's called. Sorry, I didn't look at it before I started doing the voiceover. But it's like a German made fiber pencil. Here I'm coming back with some red, and it's just wicked red. I'm kind of putting back over those dark highlights that I put in with the sepia. And I know it looks a little crazy right now, and it's even going to look even worse before it gets better. So it's just kind of a process. Um, and that is another hand reaching toward the hand that's in the front there, but I know you can't see it all. So right now I'm just kind of focusing on this one hand and the fire around it so I can get it done before I move up to the top part of this piece to finish the other section. I have another piece that I'm going to be working on when I complete this. That is kind of a commission piece. So, and it is of a little child. And I'll be really happy to do it. It's going to be a challenge for me, and I always like a challenge. Child's skin is very soft and light, and it's kind of hard to do. Their skin is so different. There's hardly any texture in it, so it's kind of, I like a lot of texture in my paintings, so it's kind of going to be a little bit of a challenge. So we'll have to see how it goes, but I'm working on a couple of different pieces right now and focusing on some things I'm trying to learn to do better at. And that's always, I always want to be challenged at my work and find different ways to do things. And I don't like it to do everything the way others do it. I'm kind of different. Sometimes I actually do things backwards, and And I think it's just because I do different styles of painting that sometimes I can't turn my mind off to go the opposite way because I do acrylic painting with a brush. And sometimes with it, you lay the darker color on first and then you put the light on top of it with airbrush. It's kind of the opposite. So my brain has to like switch off and on. And here I'm coming in trying to, I will go over that dark color a little bit. So now I'm laying in some more dark color. I'm just kind of building up those sections of the skin that's going to look really burnt. Um, and I what the only thing I had for a reference was this was just like how wood when it gets really like really hot and charcoal looking, where it gets that little amber tint of really orange mixed with the dark. And I was trying to achieve this look, and I didn't really have a very good reference to go by. Now, this color that I'm laying on now is called Blood Red, and it is a candy, um, house color candy, and it is water based. It's not urethane, so it's the oh, there's the line HO2. Um, anyway, I really love the color. The blood red's just it's awesome, and so is the orange grabber as far as that's concerned. It, and I used to use House of Color urethane non-water base, and it was awesome. The candies were awesome. And for this being a water-based paint, I was very impressed. Very impressed, I have to say. Because used to do a lot of automotive painting and before I went to water-based, and I was very impressed with this. So I'll probably get more of it. Chroma air, it kind of gets a little foggy, so I'm not very impressed with it. With the house color I am. Now I airbrush those light colors in to actually put fire over it, but then I ended up kind of covering it up too. I was trying to find my balance here and it went way off, and then I had to pull myself back and like, okay, let's get control. You're losing control over your painting. It's just going everywhere. So, sometimes I have to say, okay, Roxanne, let's slow down a little bit. I mean, I like crazy, wild things, but I also want it to look a little similar, realistic, maybe not so fake. So, and here I'm spraying in some highlights of white when I really don't need to be doing that. So, I can achieve the same thing, just scratching out a little bit here and there, and I kind of overdid it. But you will see in the end it'll look a lot better. But and here I'm going over it with a bright orange, trying to get that glow from underneath the dark and um, not finding my way. Right now, it looks like he's got a infection of something on his hand going on. Uh, this is what happens when you don't have a reference piece in front of you. I can see it in my head, but finding a picture of it, I had a hard time. So, and that looks black right there, but it isn't. It's that blood red, but it's a beautiful color. And you really can't see it that well on the camera, but it is real striking color. As you can see, I like it. I'm spraying it everywhere. But I think it's going to really give the fire, once it's clear, really realistic look. And you're going to be able to see all the different colors of yellow and orange in there. And if I can get this hand to look right, it's probably going to take another video for that. And then, the next video will probably be finishing up this hand and then starting on the top part of the picture to finish it. Then he's being burnt in the fire. And up above, you're going to see Jesus reaching to pull him out of the fire, or what we perceive as a picture of him anyway. I can see off the right hand side, the hand just doesn't look right. I think it's because I got a fire flame up beside where it curves, so it makes it look like he's got a big lump on his hand. Or it could be a piece of skin falling off too. We can just say that, right? From the fire. But I will be fixing that probably in the next video. But anywho, with fire and anything like this, it's a process before you get it looking right. Especially if you don't have the right reference picture in front of you. I'm trying to do this from my memory, so um, and since this is my own drawing of 3 or 4 different pictures and what I had in my head, I can't really get like a really reference photo to look at. I just trying to do what I pictured in my mind. So it's going to look worse before it gets better. Here I'm just using my dowel and I'm scratching out some highlights on this piece of material that is on his arm. And it's going to look like, hopefully, little holes that's been burnt out of this material in the end. And I'm just here and there and putting in some highlights to his, in his hand. But everything I've seen of burnt skin or charcoal skin, it kind of is not pretty. It just looks blackened and red in splotches. And anyway, I'm going for more of what the picture speaks to people when they see it. So I about got my new place ready and I'm gonna be doing an airbrush class. I think maybe in February, January or February of um, my first class will be chrome lettering. I think I had a lot of really good response on that, and it's one thing I was always real good at in the automotive. But I think that will be my first class at the new place. I just have to get it together. And I will send out messages on the messenger and post it on some art sites reverse lights, in case anyone could. I have limited seating for this class, so I'll probably only be able to get 8 people. So it will be a 1 day class for $200. Um, that way you don't have to book a hotel room or anything, but it'd be probably a 10 hour day. And I will show you some other techniques and stuff, not just the chrome lettering. You'll get some bonuses in there. Now, if you're interested, you can message me or text me or leave a comment. And it's starting to look a little bit better, the hand anyway. They're still off to the right hand side, the bottom area where it curves. Sun just doesn't look right to me, so I have to fix that. I think it's because I tried to put a flame up there and I didn't shape it quite right. So, um, sometimes you got to walk away and come back, get a fresh perspective. But anyway, this is about the end. So I want to thank you for watching and God bless you. Come back for the next video and have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye. Share it. Thanks.